We all live in a watershed. But what is that exactly?
So especially in western Montana, we're blessed with these beautiful mountains that are collecting the rain and the snow, and they create this complex terrain. And when the rain comes down and falls on those mountains, and snow melt and runoff starts to all collect into the low spots, those areas define a watershed.
Think of it like a big bathtub, and a watershed is all the landscape that captures that water.
Watersheds are important because we all live in one. Whether on a farm or in a community, we rely on the watershed we live in. For the water we drink, the crops we grow, our gardens, recreation we enjoy, the wildlife all around us that depend on a healthy watershed.
We're all in this together. We're all depending on the same water resource.
And we only have a limited supply of water that we get annually. People tend to think that there's lots of water available all the time, and it's not true. We have to live within our means and within our budget.
In spring, Montana typically has more water than it needs.
But we're always short on water late in the season for agriculture, for fisheries, for drinking water.
As our climate warms, snowpack is melting earlier, setting us up for longer dry periods. Where we have forced our rivers to stay within their channels, they've become deeper troughs. Water is racing out of our state before summer even arrives.
The water is coming out and it's scouring everything, and it's not getting up onto the soil where it can slow down and where we can capture it.
The Nature Conservancy is partnering with landowners to restore the ability of rivers to spread out and soak in.
If we can seasonally store that spring runoff in the ground and use that when we need it the most later in the summer, it can really benefit everybody that depends on these rivers, whether it's for irrigation and farming, or wildlife or fisheries, or even recharging wells and drinking water.
As water moves across surfaces within a watershed, it picks up pollutants, oil and antifreeze, pet waste, fertilizers, herbicides and pesticides, sediment from stream banks and construction sites.
Everything we do on the landscape impacts water.
What happens upstream affects everything downstream.
And we have to be good stewards of the water as it's passing through the landscape that we have.
There's 23 or so major waterways that come into the Gallatin River.
As kids learn where their drinking water comes from and about challenges confronting their watersheds, our actions can make a significant difference. Simple things like picking up litter and pet waste, avoiding chemicals or using them sparingly, and joining volunteer projects to count fish, pick up litter, and restore stream banks.
We need to invest as a state in our rivers and our floodplains to preserve these benefits for generations to come.